welcome back to Catalyst Live. This is the final Catalyst Live. It has been a long run, not without plenty of difficulties, but I think tonight we finally have all the kinks worked out, and it's for the final one. So we'll play some games tonight. We'll have a prize, and then shortly we will be back in person, hanging out and getting into the Word together. So without further ado, let's get started tonight. So tonight we are going to be playing a game, well, many games. We're calling it Hodgepodge because we're taking a group of games, different games that we have been playing throughout the year, and just kind of pulling a few different little things from different games. So there will be a set of questions. I'll kind of explain what the question is going to be before we get into that one, and then you'll have a chance to answer it and win a prize at the end. All right, so let's get to our first question of the night. So this is actually what we were going to play last month, until we had all of our camera difficulties and just could not get things to go our way. So we'll pull a few from that. And so this will be multiple choice style. And so just get your guess in. And hey, Elena, right outside. Elena is currently right outside the studio. That's awesome. So yeah, this will be multiple choice. So get your answer and your multiple choice answer in. And then only answer once, please. And so let's see what this one is. The 5 rings of the Olympic symbol. If you don't know what the Olympic symbol is, actually it's not on that slide. So, the 5 overlapping rings of the Olympic symbol. What do those represent? Do they represent the 5 characteristics of a great athlete, the 5 inhabited continents, the 5 gods of Mount Olympus, or the 5 original games in the Olympics? Tough one. Maybe they happened to say it during the Olympics and maybe you heard it, so you actually just already know the answer, but I did not. What do the 5 rings of the Olympics represent? Simon says C, the 5 gods of Mount Olympus. Real question is, can you name the 5 gods of Mount Olympus? Looks like it might just be a fight between the Lou's and the Simons for this one. Elena goes with C too, doesn't want to differentiate from the pack. I'll give a few more seconds in case anybody's late trickling in for them to answer the question. Just give your multiple choice answer. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this up on my phone because the chat actually kind of lags behind. And it's hard for me to keep up with what everybody's saying. Another C, okay. We got 3 C's. If anybody else joins in late, they'll just be potentially behind you guys. So let's see what the answer was for this one. The answer was B, actually, the 5 inhabited continents. So this one actually threw me for a loop because at first I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then I realized there's not 5 inhabited continents. There's more than 5 inhabited. So apparently they grouped North and South America together as just the Americas. So we're just one continent according to whoever made the 5 rings for the Olympics. So sorry, that was kind of a trick question. Nice to start with a tough one. I'm interested if any of you actually knew what the quote-unquote 5 gods of Mount Olympus would have actually been, because I have no idea. But I like that guess. It was a good guess. All right, let's go to our next question. Like I said, the game tonight is Hodgepodge, so we're just pulling from all over the place. All right, next one is Pictionary. We played Pictionary a while ago. At the time, we did it with our computer mouse, and it turned out poorly. So today I'm going to do some actual real Pictionary. And so if you thought that you were looking at a TV screen, you're actually not. Surprise, that's not a TV screen. So there's my Pictionary board. And so the first one, I'll give myself a very limited amount of time to write this down. I won't draw forever. So good luck to you. And I will go. This might turn out really, really poorly. I'm sorry if it does. No, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think, yeah, you guys can see that well. Don't know how to make that any better than it is, so it just is what it is. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I don't see. Okay, I see a few guesses, but no, nobody's gotten it yet. That is a vehicle, but there's more to it than that. This is the part that might really help you here. Except I can't draw. Yikes. Oh, okay. This will do it. This will do it. So this is first one to guess it. Not everybody will get a point on this one, if anybody ever guesses it. Yeah, the Simon's got it. Dog catcher. That's pretty good. All right, I'll take 0 credit for that because that's a pretty bad drawing. It was dog catcher. Nice job, Simons. All right, so now back to Family Feud. So how we'll do Family Feud is if you get the top answer, you get points. Actually, we'll do several points for the top answer. If you get any of the other answers, I'll give you a single point. Sorry for the stick figure dog, Frankie. All right, so the question is, what is the best fruit to buy in the summer? So if you know Family Feud, they survey 100 people, ask them what is the best fruit to buy in the summer. So you're trying to guess what everybody else said. You get one guess. You get one guess. The best fruit. Whichever one you type first is the one I'm going with. So you're trying to figure out what everybody else said was the best fruit to buy in the summer. We got Simon's with watermelon. Give you guys a second to get all of your answers in. Remember, this is what you think everybody else thought was the best fruit, not necessarily what you think is the best fruit. All right, watermelon, strawberries. Okay, good answers. You know, Family Feud, they're always yelling good answer, good answer, good answer. Good answers though. Everybody seems to think the same. I don't know if Simon just got it in and it rang a bell for everybody and they were like, yeah, that sounds like it would be the right answer. Or if everybody just agrees that watermelons are the best. I know Frankie probably agrees that that is the right answer. I don't always agree just because watermelons are they're so hit or miss. You just never know if you're getting a good watermelon or if you're getting a bad watermelon. I guess, you know, people pick them up and knock on them and say that the yellow, nobody knows. Everybody just grabs a random watermelon, tosses them around, tries to act like they think which watermelon is the best, and you get home and you just hope it's a good watermelon. And I would say 60% of the time it's a good watermelon, but that still leaves a lot of margin for a bad watermelon. I don't like the gritty watermelon, or some watermelon just has no flavor. It's not like sweet enough. You could almost like pour sugar on it and make it better. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't actually pour sugar on it, so I'm not crazy. All right, so let's see what the survey actually said. It said, yes, watermelon is the best fruit to buy in the summer. So if you said watermelon, you got a few points. Strawberries was the second best answer, so I'll also give a point for strawberries, but you get a few points if you got watermelon. All right, let's see what our next one is. So, okay, the next one is going to be back to like these picture puzzles that we did. There's something going on the screen. The background is a puzzle, so that's not part of the puzzle. But there's different images, and you got to kind of put them together to figure out what it's actually saying. For this one, we're going with the first person to get in the correct answer, because once somebody says it, you're going to know that it is right. So, what is the answer to this picture puzzle? What is the answer to this picture puzzle? I think these are hard. I don't know, but you guys always surprise me on how easy you seem to think these games actually are. So we'll see if it's TBD if it's actually hard or not. Shoe Shows with Tony Hawk. Sorry, I have no idea who Shoe Shows is, but Shoe Shows got Tony Hawk. Way to go, Shoe Shows. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know if this one would be easier or not because I don't even know if you guys. Oh, it's Kenyon. What's up, Kenyon? I don't know if you guys actually knew who Tony Hawk was or not, just because he's kind of old. I don't know if he even does anything anymore. So good job. We'll come back to another picture puzzle later, but Kenyon nailed that one. All right, so this next one is I don't know if you guys have ever done this one. You have to count how many potatoes get launched onto the screen. So it'll be just a white screen. Potatoes will launch into the screen. You have to count them really quickly. Potentially impossible, but you can give it a shot. And then you'll just give the answer to how many potatoes came onto the screen. We'll go with whoever gets closest. Whoever gets closest to the amount of potatoes that pop on the screen. I'll play it a couple times so you can try a couple times to get a count. So here it is. All right. There is the potatoes. Let me play that again. I got to go back to the last slide though. Okay. How many potatoes launched onto the screen? I think it's impossible to actually tell how many. I'll play it again. So these aren't all, this isn't 3 different launches. This is all the same launch. You're guessing how many this is. So here it is again. Count them. All right. How many potatoes launched on the screen? That was the last time I was showing it to you. How many potatoes were on the screen? 18, 15, 23. Are you guys just taking a total shot in the dark, or did you actually try to count those really quick? If you knew I was going to play it really quick, you might have been able to count like the left third of the screen, the middle of the screen, and then the right of the screen. But Elena, good guess, Elena. Yeah, I wouldn't have known either. I would have had absolutely no idea. So we actually have a tie between Stanton and Safe. We have a tie. It was 24 potatoes, apparently. I can't confirm or deny that, but apparently it was 24 potatoes. So we have a tie. So I'll give you guys both the point there, and we will go on to the next one. The next one is back to some Pictionary. So I'll have to clear my screen. I got a new word. This one I think might even be a little bit harder. Make sure you guys can see that. All right. So I'll give myself limited time again. I won't go forever. First one to guess it gets it. This one's harder though. Oh, jeez. Sorry if anybody doesn't like the sound of nails on the chalkboard, because I'm hearing a little bit of that going on. Okay, I think that's decent there. Sorry, I'm gonna have to cross that to get to my next part. Oh man, this is bad. I don't know if I can do it better than that. That's where I'll leave it. That's where I'll leave it. It's not just cheese. It's that's a bad picture. I'm sorry. That's all I'm giving you. Somebody will get it. Yeah, somebody got it. Kenyon got it with goat cheese. Way to go, Kenyon. I don't know how you got it. That was a pretty bad goat. Good guess though. Better than I would have done. All right. Back to an Olympic question. This one is, how is the Olympic torch lit? Remember, I don't even know if these are true on some of these. This is just what the internet said. So you're not necessarily trying to guess the true answer. You're trying to guess what the internet told me was true. So is the Olympic torch just simply lit with a match? Or is it lit with a mirror using the sun's rays? Or is it lit apparently from a 200-year-old bonfire? I guess it's just been going forever for 200 years. Or the lava from Mount Olympus. So you get one guess, pick your letter. You got a 25% shot at it. I wouldn't have known the answer to this one because maybe they said it in the Olympics. I really have no idea how you would know the answer to this. If it's, I guess I still don't even know if this answer is actually true or not. So we got some A's, we got a C, some B's. All right, we're all over the board here. Bella says probably not D. Does Olympus not have lava? I have no idea. Bella goes with B. Okay, we got a couple people saying the mirror. A couple of people say there's been an eternal fire going. Kind of makes sense. They keep that Olympic torch lit, I think, for like the whole games, and they transport it from Greece all the way to wherever the location of the Olympics are. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just keep feeding a fire and have been for 200 years to keep it going. The mirror, I think, would be kind of shocking, surprising. The match, that makes sense. So we got some C's, we got some B's. All right, let's see what the answer is. The answer is B. The answer is B. Apparently they use a mirror using the sun's rays. I don't know if I buy that. Yeah, I just find it hard to believe they sit there long enough with a mirror. Maybe it doesn't take as long as I think it does, but it seems very unnecessary to start it that way. All right, let's do a bonus question here. Since we're talking about the Olympics, the bonus question is, we'll just go with whoever gets the closest here. And in order to not let there be a tie, we'll say if you go over, then you miss it. So even if you're just one over, sorry, you're out. So you have to be under the amount, but still try to be the closest. Kind of some Price is Right rules here. So the question is, how many towels do you think they went through? Not in this Olympics. They're probably still tallying them up. But the last Summer Olympics, so 5 years ago, how many towels did they go through at the Olympics? How many towels did they go through at the Olympics? I'm not going to give you any clues. You just good luck, I guess. It's a tough one. I don't think, it's not really one that you could just get. 473, says Elena. 473. No other guesses in so far. I don't think anybody will get even close. I guess what is close? Kenyon had the same thought as Elena. One. Okay. Joel, 1,000. I think we have a couple more guesses we need to come in. Simons, Helena. What do you think? How many Olympics did they use at the last Olympics? Not this one, but the one before it. Probably doesn't really make a difference, but 2,000, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like it. A nice number. Simons say 1,001. Helena, do you have a guess back there? 1,001. Oh, Simon's tried to do the old Price is Right, just go one higher than the highest bidder. Smart. Elena says no guess. Okay, well, I'll say nobody was even kind of close. So I'm not going to tell you the answer. We'll come back to it. I'll let you guys take another shot at it. You guys were way too low, like way too low, not even in the ballpark. So we'll come back to it. Don't guess again yet. We'll come back to it at the end. All right, back to a Family Feud question. What is the worst thing about summer? Not what do you think is the worst thing about summer? It might be the same, but what did the survey say when they surveyed 100 people that everybody said was the worst thing about summer? What is the worst thing about summer? I have thoughts on what is the worst part about summer for me, but I don't want to share them because I don't want it to possibly be the right answer. Kenyon says mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, yeah. Mosquitoes have been bad this year too, so bad. Elena Lou in a similar vein, bugs. Bella is with getting bored. I was totally the same way when I was in school. Kenyon says summer in second, mosquitoes. Elena when it ends, too hot. All right, I think looks like we're missing Helena's answer maybe. I'll give you another second, Helena, to get an answer in there. I don't know if we're missing anybody else's. All right, so remember, it's just your first answer. So if you said a second one, it doesn't count for anything. That was just for fun. I'm just going to give, for simplicity, just going to give points to the number one answer this time. Last time I gave you guys a little leeway. But this time, just if you get the number one answer. All right, let's see what the answer is. I think everybody's are in. The answer was too hot. Hot. I think one person said the heat, Joel, and I've got to agree. The heat gets me so bad. My wife is from California, and I couldn't live there. I could not live where it's constantly this hot. But this summer seems like it has been exceptionally hot and rainy, which I guess would add to the humidity. But you guys got most of the answers up there. Nobody got working, I think is the only one you guys didn't get, maybe sunburn. But those were lower answers, so that's all right. I'd say when it ends goes with the too short. So you guys did well. All right, let's go back to our bonus question. I want to give you guys another shot at that. You guys were way too low, way too low. Now you guys are probably going to end up going too high, but the first time around you were way too low. So how many towels do you think they used? How many towels do you think they used in the last Olympics? As a clue, kind of, just think about how many athletes are there. I don't know what the answer to that is. I don't know how many athletes are there, but man, just like the swimmers and stuff alone is so many people. Kenyon went extremely high. I can tell you it's not that many people. Wow, we got multiple 15,000s, 13,000. Bella with 19,000. I'm guessing that's Kenyon. We'll take that as Kenyon's real guess since the other one was obviously not okay. 16,000, okay. Yeah, I wish I knew how many. I wish I could tell you guys how many athletes were there so you could base it off of how many athletes were actually at the Olympics, but it's a big number. All right, let's see if Helena has a guess, and then we will get the answer here. Oh, actually, I don't think we have one from Joe. Oh, yeah, we do it, Joel. Okay. All right, so I'll give it to you guys this time. You guys were still way too low, unfortunately. But I don't know how you would have ever got to the right amount. The right amount was 165,000. So we'll give this one to Bella. She was the closest. Even though it was still way low. But I don't know. That's a hard one. That was a hard one. I'll give you guys one more bonus question. I think that one will be a little bit easier. But let's move on to one of our next questions. So this is back to the picture puzzles where there's like some pictures on the thing, and you kind of have to combine them and figure out what it's saying. So here is the picture puzzle. Did they do all that laundry? Well, hopefully each athlete just takes their own towel and keeps it. And then every athlete can wash their 2 towels they used while they were there. Well, I guess while you guys are answering this one, let me give you another bonus question. So think about this. Try to figure this one out. And I'll give you guys another bonus question to think about at the same time, as if you weren't thinking hard enough. So Kenyon, you're close. I want a little more than that. Okay, Joel and Elena. So you guys are kind of all there. Yeah, I would say technically Elena has it, but Joel got it as well. So I'll divvy up the points accordingly. Maybe I'll give Elena a couple points for getting it dead on, and I'll give Joel and Kenyon a couple one for getting us there. So Joel, safe, and Elena. All right, we have this is a neck and neck race here. All right, so let me give you another bonus question because we need to kind of get everybody separated out here before we end. So this one is, how many athletes, going back to the Olympics, how many athletes have won a medal in both the Winter and the Summer Olympics? Winter and Summer Olympics. Again, I don't know if this number is totally accurate, but it's what the internet told me. It's got to be a really hard thing to do, because imagine being a specialist in running track. Like, that's what you do. You spend all your time training for track. Like, what are the odds that you're also good at bobsled or something? You know, you don't have time to do bobsled. You're always running for track. So I think it's I think it's in the whole world, Frankie, but I could be totally wrong. But I think this is a super hard thing to do. I don't think many athletes, if you think about it, there's not even very many athletes that like play, pro football and pro basketball. Actually, I don't even know if I can think of any. Just when you're so specialized in a sport, it's so hard to have time to specialize in another sport on top of that. So let's see, we got 8, we got 473. Let's let a few more answers come in. While people are thinking, what is your favorite, good Elena, what is your favorite Olympic sport to watch? Winter or summer, what is your favorite Olympic sport to watch? Maybe if yours is the same as mine, I'll give you a bonus point, although I don't know if I know what mine is right off the top of my head. They're all really, really interesting. I don't know if you guys watched any of them, but it's so interesting to watch and see that somebody has spent so much time like getting really good at throwing the shot put. Like, what a random skill to have, being able to basically throw a really heavy rock really far. Figure skating from Helena, yeah, that's a good one. They're super talented. It's kind of like the floor routines in gymnastics, sort of, but like the dancing part of it's a little more natural than in the gymnastics. I agree, Elena. I think mine might be gymnastics as well. Oh, you switched to figure skating. Well, I guess I'm with the Simons. I think mine might be gymnastics as well. What they do is just insane. Like, being able to spin on the bars and the balance beam, do flips on it, and it's crazy. BMX or soccer. I did enjoy watching skateboarding this year in the Olympics. That was pretty cool. We're still missing some guesses on this one, though. We got 8 and 473. I haven't heard from a lot of you on how many athletes you think have won a medal in both the Winter and the Summer Olympics. So just throw a number out there between 1 and a million. I can tell you it's on the lower end of that. It's not going to be ever close to a million, but there we got 8. We got 473. We got 100 by Kenyon. I'll be taking your first answer, Kenyon, with 100. 234. Okay. All right, I'm going to close this question out so we can get to our last question for the night. So the answer was actually 4. So I think the closest we got to that was Simons. Simons said 8. Everybody was technically over, but that was the closest that we got to it. Such a low number. I think just because it's so hard to do. I'd love if somebody fact checked me on that and made sure I was right, but yeah, just such a hard thing to actually do. All right, so last question for tonight. We'll go back to Pictionary, see a little bit more of my wonderful drawing skills. I think this one's going to be actually even harder than the last one, so we'll see if you guys can get this one. We might just have to go with whoever actually gets the closest to this one. All right, so gosh, this is a tough one. I don't know if that makes sense. And then all right, let's see if anybody got that one. I love this. Booger, sneeze. I feel like you guys got a good track going here. I don't know if I can make it better than this. So if you guys can't get it from here, I might just have to start giving you some clues because I don't know if I can make it look any better than this. Booger bunny thing. Booger bunny. Let's see. Maybe I can. Here, let me give you a little more clue to what this is. What I'm trying to show there. Gosh, this is really hard. So I'm trying to describe this a little better. So, oh, Kenyon got it. Nice. So I was trying to show that this is a little piece of dust that would be underneath of the couch. The whole thing would kind of be on the couch. Dust bunny is it. It is Dust Bunny. Everybody said Booger Bunny. I feel like we could have got there. Nice job, Kenyon, with nailing Dust Bunny. So let's actually go to our devotional. I recorded this a little while ago while the Olympics was going on, so it kind of relates to that. But so we'll do our devotional, and then I'll let you guys know who won, and then I have just a couple of quick announcements.
Talking about the Olympics, it really got me thinking about athletes, and in particular, these elite athletes that are the best in the world at what they do. Whether it be running or swimming or wrestling or whatever it is, they are elite athletes. And I was thinking about what got them there. How did they become the best in their particular sport? Now, I think some of it might be a bit of natural gifting. I know that no matter how hard I try, I'm never going to be an elite athlete. I'm never going to be the best at anything, really. I mean, unless it's something like eating a whole bag of potato chips or something. Like, I just know that I'll never get there. But besides the natural gifting, it also took a ton of training, a ton of determination, and being really committed to becoming the best at what they are, to be better than anybody else. And so I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about, for me, what would it be if there was one thing that I could be the best at, the best in the entire world at one thing? What would that be? Now, there's a lot of things that I'd really like to be better at. My golf game is horrible. My jump shot is laughable. I'd like to be better at those things, but when it comes down to it, what would I like to be the best at? And it might sound a little cheesy, but honestly, I think it would be something like being a Christian, or at following Christ, because that's what is most important. And so I'd love to be the best, or at least an elite, I guess, Christian. And so I got thinking about that, and I was thinking about it and realized it doesn't actually make a ton of sense for that to even be my answer, because unlike being an athlete, you can work really hard, and maybe you'll never be the best, but you can still become an elite, whatever it is, if you work really, really hard. But for Christianity, it's not like that. We can work really hard, but never earn the title of Christian, never earn that name, never earn really our salvation. Because there's only one way that we have that, and it's all because of Jesus. Everything that he did, there's nothing I can do. I can't work hard enough, train hard enough, or have any sort of natural gifting or anything that will make me earn that salvation. It's only by what he did on the cross to take that punishment that we have earned and deserved on for us, so that we don't have to bear that. And so I was thinking about my answer and realized it didn't actually make a ton of sense for me to have that answer. But as I thought about it, I think that we can still train in Christianity, that we can still pour ourselves into that and really work hard and train in our godliness. And I think Paul even shows us this in 1 Timothy. He actually is talking about training the body and the spirit. And when he's talking about that, he says in chapter 4, verse 8, "For while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come." And so training ourselves up in godliness is definitely something that we can be working on, and something I'm trying to work on myself, and I hope that you'll join me in doing that as well, and training yourself in godliness. And so I was kind of browsing the internet, and I stumbled upon this article from 3Gen Ministries, and it was on training for godliness, and some of the things that they came up with were sort of a stretch. They were basing it on sort of how an athlete would go about it. But I kind of parsed that down and took some of their ideas and kind of just developed 3 brief ideas that we can pour ourselves into to train ourselves in godliness. And so the first one is to develop a daily habit. I think this is a huge start. If you're training for anything, whether it's athletics or band or chess, if you're not consistent, then you'll get nowhere fast. I'm sure we've probably all experienced that firsthand. Years ago, I got a ukulele, I think it was for my birthday, and in hopes that one day I would be able to just really jam on the ukulele. It sounds silly, but it sounded to me like an easy instrument to learn. Figured I could just pick it up and learn it. The only problem was I only picked it up maybe once or twice a year for like a couple hours and tried to learn a few things, and I've never really gotten anywhere with it, and I know I never will if I don't commit myself to consistently practicing and developing that habit. And so if we want to grow in godliness, I think it's the same thing. We have to commit to being consistent. Listening to a sermon every once in a great while, or reading scripture now and then, if ever, like, we're not gonna be moving anywhere fast, that's for sure. And so maybe for us, building that habit is just waking up maybe 5 minutes earlier to just start your day by reading one psalm. It can be as simple as starting there and just building that habit of being in scripture, or maybe it's building a habit of, while you're doing other things, even like just listening to sermons or worship music, in order to start building a habit of thinking about things and training in our spiritual selves. In our relationship and walk with God. In Galatians 6:7-8, it says, "Whatever one sows, that will he also reap. For the one who sows to his own flesh will from the flesh reap corruption, but the one who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life." And so if we build that habit, if we really pour into ourselves, I think we will see the benefits of that in our life. Secondly, I think with training, we need to have a healthy diet. Over the 4th of July weekend, I ate 4 different fried chicken sandwiches from 4 different fast food places in 4 days. So my diet clearly isn't the greatest, but I think an athlete would look at that and be appalled that I would eat that kind of food. Like, I'm moving in the opposite direction of becoming an elite athlete. And I know if I wanted to become one, that I would need to like cut that stuff out of my life. And so I think it's similar in our God training and godliness. We need to kind of cut that junk food out of our life sometimes, or at least take a check, an inventory of what are you consuming? What is your diet? Are you eating sort of like a spiritual junk food? Or are you feasting on what is good and right and holy, on the word and God's promises? Because what we consume definitely affects us in our training. Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." And so we should be setting our minds, we should be consuming things that will build us up in our training in godliness. And the last point for training in godliness is just to partner up. Having a workout buddy is so incredibly helpful. I know anytime, and I don't work out a lot, but when I do, having a buddy is so helpful. They push you further than you would even go on your own, and they encourage you to keep on doing it and to stay in the training. And then you can encourage them as well. It's a two-way street. And so having a buddy in training, it's huge, really, I think, in anything that we do, but particularly huge in our training and our spiritual selves. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 says, "Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up." And so we need people to be walking with us. We need to find who is that person that you can turn to and partner up with them in getting into the word and prayer, whatever it is in your training. Bring somebody along with you. So that's just 3 ideas on how we can be pouring into ourselves and training ourselves in godliness. And so maybe even as you watch the Olympics, I think they're coming up quite soon. Think about that. Like, what did these people do to get where they are, to be an elite athlete? And think about all the training that they poured into that. And how can you be doing that similarly with the most important thing, your walk with the Lord? Let me pray for us. Lord, I just thank you for this time that we can get together, have some fun with some silly games and trivia, but also to get into your word, Lord, and just know you more and build our relationship with you, Lord, as we go out in the days and weeks and months for the rest of the summer. Would you help us to just train in our godliness, Lord, to pour ourselves into you and our walk and our faith with you. We love you, Lord. We praise you. Amen.
Well, hey, that wraps up Catalyst Live. Hopefully things are pretty normal this year. Hopefully we don't have to go back into any sort of quarantine, lockdown kind of thing. I'm looking super forward to this year. I'm really excited about it. We'll be here at our Maple campus this year. And we have a lot planned, and I think it's going to be a really great year. So I'm excited to be with you guys. A couple announcements, and then I'll let you know who the winner was. The 24th of August, we're having a donut drive-thru. So bring your whole family. We'll be out in front of the church. Just go ahead, drive up. We'll have some free donuts for you. Maybe a couple other small things. But yeah, come get a donut. Your magnet that you have says 9 to 10 p.m. That is wrong. I made a mistake. It didn't get caught. It is 9 to 10 p.m. All right, a.m. See, I made a mistake again. It's 9 to 10 a.m. August 24th. Come and get some donuts from us and say hi before school gets going for you. Hopefully it hasn't started by then for you. And then our kickoff party to the year is going to be on the 28th and 29th. We're going to do it middle school and high school separate. So middle school will be on the 28th, high school on the 29th. Look for an email soon with more details about that, but it's going to be a blast. You're not going to want to miss it. So come hang out with us with that. And then September 12th will be our first night of Catalyst. Again, more details are on their way for that. So keep an eye on your emails or your parents' emails, and there'll be more info about it as well. But it'll be here at the Maple campus on September 12th. All right, without further ado, our winner for the night, and I'm excited to announce that it is Joel. Way to go, man. Yeah, you actually, it was super tight. Pretty much everybody was just about tied, but you just barely got that one. So way to go. Excited to get you your prize. I'll reach out to your parents in an email, and we'll figure out prize stuff for you. It's not going to be at the Almond's house, Elena. It's actually going to be at the Ceccarelli's house this year. It's going to be a blast. So there's a ton to do there. We'll have a ton of fun. So yeah, but look for your email, and there'll be more info for you there. Sorry about the AM PM mix up, Bella. So it is in the AM, the appropriate time to eat donuts. Donuts are always good, but the right time is technically in the morning. All right, so I will hopefully see you guys all at our donut drive-through, and then again at our kickoff party, and then for sure I want to see you on September 12th here at the Maple campus, and we'll kind of kick off our regular the way we do things during the school year, which is going to be awesome. So I'll see y'all later. Thanks for joining us today.